Stuart Young's social media reform plan is flawed and dangerous, an editorial by Professor Wall Street. Acting Prime Minister Stuart Young has announced that, should the People's National Movement, PNM, win the next general election, he intends to introduce legislation to reform social media in Trinidad and Tobago. While his concerns about online abuse and misinformation may seem well-intended, this proposal is fundamentally flawed and raises serious red flags for democracy, free speech, and governance. Here are 10 reasons why this initiative makes no sense. 1. Threat to free speech. Social media is a vital space for political discourse, public debate, and civic engagement. Any attempt to regulate it opens the door to censorship and the suppression of dissenting voices. This proposal could easily be abused to silence critics of the government. 2. Vague and undefined scope. Young has not provided specifics on what these reforms would entail. Without clear definitions, legislation could be interpreted in ways that infringe on fundamental rights and freedoms. 3. Existing laws already cover defamation. Trinidad and Tobago already has defamation and cybercrime laws that can address harmful online behavior. Instead of new laws, proper enforcement and education on responsible online behavior would be more effective. 4. Political bias in enforcement. Who decides what constitutes irresponsible social media use? If left to politicians or law enforcement under political control, there is a high risk that the laws will be weaponized against opposition voices and activists. 5. Chilling effect on journalism. Journalists and independent media rely on social media to expose corruption and hold officials accountable. Overregulation could deter whistleblowers and investigative reporting, leading to a less transparent society. 6. Technical and logistical challenges. Enforcing social media laws is a complex task. Will the government monitor all posts? How will it track users? The costs and resources required could be better spent on pressing issues like crime reduction and economic development. 7. Lack of public trust. Given that Young and the PNM have been in power since 2015, the timing of this initiative raises suspicion. Why now? It appears to be an attempt to control the narrative ahead of an election rather than a genuine effort to protect citizens. 8. Potential for digital surveillance overreach. In 2019, Young supported police surveillance of social media. His latest comments indicate an expansion of this mindset, potentially infringing on privacy rights and civil liberties. 9. Negative impact on business and innovation. Many entrepreneurs and small businesses in T&T rely on social media for marketing and customer engagement. Restrictive policies could harm economic growth and digital entrepreneurship. 10. Global backlash and reputational damage. Countries that have attempted heavy-handed social media regulation often face criticism from international human rights organizations. Such legislation could damage Trinidad and Tobago's reputation as a democratic nation. In conclusion, rather than introducing broad and ambiguous social media laws, the government should focus on public education campaigns, media literacy initiatives, and better enforcement of existing laws. A free and open internet is essential for democracy, and any attempt to regulate it must be approached with extreme caution. Young's proposal is not only impractical, but also a dangerous step towards authoritarianism. Voters must be wary of any policy that threatens their right to express themselves freely.